Hey YouTube, it's David here for GDWC. This upcoming video originally comes from our Twitch live streams, where we look at the weekly fan favorite games for the Game Development World Championship. And if you don't know what GDWC is, well, it's an annual competition for game developers, game teams of all sizes, game dev students, hobbyists, really anyone interested in game development. And the best part is it's free to sign up. So don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube, as well as on our Twitch page, to keep up with the upcoming streams, upcoming games that we're going to be taking a look at. And so for today, we're going to be taking a look at Whiteboard.
I see Luciano has already jumped to action.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am. There is no time to waste.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we're here for.
Many real guys to kill.
So how many years have you been working on IC Red?
Well, we started development around March of 2020.
Okay.
At the time, we were only 4 people, and now we are up to 14.
14. Wow. Okay. And I'm being
The team has grown a lot.
now I'm being told that they can't hear the. I just turned up the audio, so let me know, Raccoon Dog, if you can hear the game. And so you started with 4. Were both of you there at the beginning?
No,
I was-
wasn't. Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. It started with 4 people that they were partners at the university here in Argentina, Da Vinci School, and they were working on their thesis, their final project for that career, and then I joined this year on March, I believe. So no, I wasn't part of the original team, but Luciano was.
Indeed.
And so is that where both of you have met in university?
We started
No.
the game as a. Well, no, go ahead. I can't hear most things because the audio is so loud that I'm going to. No.
Okay. Well, okay, you died.
You can turn it down in game. I can turn up the audio here for the game.
Okay, I'm going to
you
try
asked-
a little bit.
You asked how Luciano and I met,
Yeah.
or how they.
Or how both of you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we met actually working on another game, a local game here in Argentina that is kind of well known within the country. It's called Imperio Mao. It's like an MMORPG
Yeah.
here, and yeah, we both started working there and we met there. We were teammates in the marketing, actually the communication and marketing team.
Okay.
So yeah, we started there, and then Luciano decided to go on his own and study video game design.
Yeah.
And yeah, he started this project.
And Luciano, can you hear us now? Or?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
So you're the game director,
Finally.
right?
I am the game director, yes.
And what's your role on the game?
I am the social media and marketing guy.
Okay.
Also, like the graphic designer. I am a graphic designer and multimedia designer, but I also manage the social media part of the game.
That explains why we've been in contact so much.
Yes, that's why.
Indeed. Yes, Aus has been so much of a help. No! Each time that I want to speak, I die. It's so hard to mix speaking and
You
playing.
lose focus.
See, I'm happy
You
because
have to be focused.
I was doing so bad last week, but now seeing you play, I feel, okay, well, it's not just me. The game is very difficult.
It's very difficult to speak and focus at the game. If you only focus, I can play, I believe, very well. I'm not the best one on the team. There is someone better. But honestly, the game is of course very hard because the idea of the game is that you are really bad at the beginning as the player doesn't have enough upgrades and so on.
Yeah.
So when you replay, you're each time a little bit better. You gain some upgrades, some power-ups and so on that allow you to beat the game
And I think
Eventually.
the game teaches you so much as well. Like at first you would just, I think most people would just use the gun, and then they start finding out, oh, I can pick up different weapons, and then, oh, well, I haven't been using the grappling hook. I should start using that more. And then there's so many more things that you don't notice at first that start to become part of your gaming. At each run, I think you improve. Like these
Indeed.
explosives. Yeah.
There is a lot of mechanics that, of course, you will be figuring out on your own, but of course there are some others that get explained on an eventual tutorial that there is currently in production.
Yeah.
When you played, of course, you were like, well, what are the buttons and so on.
Yeah.
And of course, makes sense. There isn't, of course, a tutorial at the moment. There is one that is almost finished up for the next build of the game.
Yeah.
So that will be a lot better for newcomers. And well, you will be able to find out all of the hidden mechanics and so on.
Obviously, we don't expect the people to be guessing buttons, but you can guess, oh, this weapon is a little better than this other one, or this is better in certain situations, or, oh, I should go for that enemy first because he's destroying me every time. So you kind of learn how to play the game better and how to progress with the levels, as well as getting upgrades for yourself and becoming mechanically more powerful.
So in the demo version now, are there upgrades to the character or not yet?
There are a permanent upgrade system that if I die, I'm going to show it, at least the menu, because I haven't collected any yet. So there are the player it gets cloned each time a new run is started. So the clone basically is an enhanced, upgraded version of the previous one.
Okay.
And there is also in the run itself a passive system like this one. You can find these loot boxes that you can grab, and then, for example, the one that you grabbed, we can go to the stats page, go to the passives menu, and read what it does. When you clear the room, you get killed by 10% of your maximum health. So
I really like that one.
Yeah.
I won't be dying as much.
Oh, I have not seen this enemy.
Yes, it's on the final room of the first level. It's not a boss, it's more like an elite enemy that is ready to crush you if you don't.
Yes, he will destroy you if you don't dodge.
And so the game obviously has a very distinct art style. Was that something that was decided from the early stages, or did it come later on?
The game. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Agus.
Okay, no, I was going to answer because you have to focus on winning. Oh, well, now you can speak. But yes, on the very first stages, I know this is kind of weird that I answer this because I wasn't there, but I know this because I had to work on a little bit on writing it and telling it. But yeah, it was not as decided as now. It even had the blue colors, but with time they decided that red was going to their focus. I mean, you can tell it now if you want to.
Indeed,
the whole story about
the game when we started. I'm going to make it very practical. We were only me, myself, Dario, Matias, and Ignacio. And due to the amount of people that were working on the game, we were quite limited on the resources the game had available. So we wanted to keep the visual scope very limited, meaning that the game had a flat color palette that we didn't have a lot of time to work with. So we went to a very simple but striking one that was easy to work with, but also quite pleasing to the eye. So from that point, we started building upon that. Of course, then it merged to the one that is now, which is more of a realistic one. Everything has a real illumination and so on. That at the moment it didn't have. It was more like a more toon or arcade aesthetic.
Yeah.
And now it's more mature, to put it in words.
like Gritty noir aesthetic, yes.
Indeed. This is the upgrades menu.
Yeah.
If you obtain a certain currency, you can upgrade permanently the protagonist. This is, even if you die, you still keep these upgrades. You can upgrade your pistol, you can upgrade the grappling hook. There is a lot to... Even the rage mode, which I have not yet used, and I'm going to try to use it now.
Yeah.
You should show it.
There is a lot. And more to come, of course.
That UI is very cool, by the way. I don't know who came up with that, but the spinning capsule thing is very, very cool.
There is a lot of work behind it, yes. And it was certainly quite hard to... Every UI in the game is diegetic, meaning that the UI lives inside the game. There is no on-screen HUD.
Yeah.
It's only like if we were a part of the world. So to come up with this idea, it was quite hard because we had to make a 3D UI basically that goes around the glass, and it was quite challenging certainly, but rewarding at last.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
Now there are more sectors available to you.
Yeah.
Yes, there are the orbits
Yeah.
start to appear.
New ships when you progress, new types of ship, new types of enemies. Yeah, it's cool. Now to wrap up the art style thing, I wanted to mention too that there is a focus on, you know, rage and revenge, and well, I think that when they settled on this theme, on this story, the red color became so much more necessary and apparent because you know that saying "I see red" when you're very angry. Okay, well, so the idea is that the protagonist is so angry that he actually sees in the world only these colors, only black and white, that he has lost all emotion but rage, and that is what propels him forward in the story.
That, by the way, that's the permanent upgrade. That's the hidden currency that you find to upgrade your player permanently.
Yeah.
You grab these cores that you can then put on your next player, basically, on your next clone, to upgrade yourself permanently.
Have either of you had the chance to play Returnal this year?
I have not, since it's a PS5 exclusive, and getting a PS5 it's quite tough at the moment with the... Yeah. But I believe when there is a PC version, at least rumored, perhaps then I can try it. The game looks quite awesome, and yes, the team really enjoyed the aesthetic behind it. It was quite different from ours, but of course it was a roguelite after all, and a shooter one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and of course, Returnal is not the first one to use the idea of clones, but I like that you're bringing up the idea of your clones as well, that if you die and you come back, your clone comes back with the upgrades, and that's very cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Yes, the idea was to... there is a thing with roguelites that they don't justify death. Basically, you restart over because the game says so.
Yeah.
So the idea was to make every death have a purpose, feel integrated with the world, so you can, well, not lose a sense of the immersion behind it. So yeah.
And the levels, are they procedurally generated, or are there certain layouts that now you're familiar with?
They are not. They are actually handcrafted.
Yeah.
Yes, that's actually quite odd in the genre itself.
Yeah.
It's always random, basically. Mm-hmm. But we choose to do that because we felt that we wanted to have absolute control on the aesthetic of the game, and also the difficulty. We can literally put enemies and of course walls, covers, etc. To exactly where we wanted them to appear, and not decide on an algorithm. So it's a very different approach, but it works. And in the end, since there are so many levels that you don't really get tired of them.
Yeah.
For the idea of roguelites, since you replay them, you don't want to get massively tired of seeing the same thing over and over. So there are, of course, a lot of levels to solve that issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's good too, the idea of handcrafting levels. If you're struggling or you're having a difficult time at the beginning, you start to know the levels, so you have a pattern in your mind how to progress in that level to reach the next one. If it's randomized, you could struggle with not knowing where to go or what to do next.
Indeed.
Yeah. But
Yes.
by the way, you expertly.
There is a thing that happens that when
Well,
you get to know a level, yes.
Oh,
no, he was saying that I beat the fight
Oh,
with.
there you saw.
Yes, that's the idea. If you play every
There
day,
saw the
you
rage
get.
mode.
And also the rage mode. Yes, there is we just saw the rage mode when the world turns red.
Yeah.
Our protagonist gets a lot of skills that we can actually read here. The player gets extra damage reduction, melee damage, movement speed, and of course you can use the grappling hook infinitely. You can murder everyone
okay.
basically for free. And this is, by the way, the store. Every coin that you collect in the game, I have 1,000, over 1,000, you can spend it here in the store. So I'm going to just purchase a bunch of them, so I am even more powerful and I don't die in the next level, which is going to be even harder.
And these are not permanent. These are just for this run.
Indeed, if I die, everything is gone, including the money, so you need to spend the money.
Yeah, the permanent ones are the ones that you get on your spaceship when you from the cloning machine.
Yeah. Okay.
Indeed.
That I think did you get any of the currency for the cloning machine?
I believe I grabbed one. I have just one cloning point, and I'm going to spend the 1 point, so you can see what it's all about. If there is, yes, there was one where I can upgrade my melee damage
Melee
by
damage.
2 points. So there goes. Yep. So this doesn't apply now. When I'm dying,
obviously
when I die, the player gets cloned with this new upgrade. So where do we go now? I have no idea, so I'm going to just click the one with the funniest name. I like the word vertigo, I believe.
That's a good reason.
Yes. Of course, the idea is that the player chooses the level based on difficulty, possible value, and so on. But for the sake of the stream, let's just pick a random one and see where that takes us. I believe this is a bathroom, so yeah, I ended in a bathroom.
There are also different types of ships with different enemies. There are human ships, there are robot ships.
Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Luciano, but we are now working on alien ships.
Indeed, yes. The alien race is very different from the one that we are seeing here. That is basically humans. Even that's a robot, but of course we all call this the human ships. And the alien one, since we haven't yet revealed them, I can't say much, but there is a lot of inspiration from the actual Alien movies.
Okay.
The one from Ridley Scott, so it's going to look very, very different from what you see here. So making the choice not only a strategic one, but also a very aesthetic one. There is a lot of difference visually there.
Yeah. I dropped a little spoiler there. We haven't shown anything yet, but we are going to soon.
I'm looking forward to reveal then when it happens. And the different enemy types, do they have different weaponry or different attacks as well?
They do. Every enemy in the game the base enemy can use any weapon in the game. Every weapon that you can use, they can use.
Okay.
Every weapon. So, the base enemy already is very varied in gameplay. But then there is, for example, the charger enemy, which is a giant robot with the two shields.
Yeah.
Plays entirely different. It can of course charge you to stomp you, but you can also, with the grappling hook, remove the shields, so you can make him even more vulnerable. There are also two more enemies that I have not yet found, so I'm not going to spoil them. If I don't die, we'll find out in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
I hope that I don't die, because that will be too embarrassing.
Oh, we haven't seen yet this. Was it a sort of a gun on the wall, or what was it?
The turret, yes.
Yeah.
There are interactable elements in the level that you can activate by a lot of means.
Okay.
This one, there was a console panel with a button that it got destroyed, but when it was active, that I activated, the turret killed every enemy that it wasn't in the way. Of course, the enemy could also break the turret if they didn't like it. They can also break everything. Everything in the game is, like you saw when you play the game, can get destroyed.
Yeah. I was so surprised by that. It was so fun just to pick up parts of the environment, like these boxes, and throw them at enemies or throw them at the walls, and these different parts of the walls would break apart.
Exactly, you can break basically everything, and there is of course a gameplay purpose to it. For example, if this healing device was in the middle of combat, the enemies could heal itself by using it, but I can also choose intentionally to break it, so that they don't use it, and there is a gameplay decision behind that. What do? I use it myself, or does the enemy use it, or nobody uses it? So, it's up to you as the player to choose the best strategy possible.
Yes.
More environment traps.
It also gives you a lot of resources. Yes. I mean, if you run out of ammo in your infinite weapon, or you don't have a weapon that is good in the situation, you can always pick a box or pick an explosive barrel and throw it to an enemy to make time for the weapon to recharge, for example, or use your grappling hook. Like you rely not only on your weapons, but on everything you can find in the environment.
I believe the charge enemy decided to froze itself. Well, this is a great moment to say the game is on development and bugs are to be expected. So yes.
But I love
it's actually
when you go into rage mode and the whole world turns red, but the enemies, they turn even more brightly red saturated. So you, despite the whole world is red, now they're even more red. So you can always see them.
There is more red in the red game, yes. Indeed. Yeah, it was actually quite a challenging effect to achieve, because of course we wanted to have the game turn itself red in the rage mode.
Yeah.
But the enemies were already red, so how do you see them? Well, we had to come up with a visual solution, which was basically making them even more red. So, how much red can the red game get? Oh, possible threat with 3 bars.
Okay.
Well, I take my chances.
We might get to see some of those enemies now.
Ah, maybe, perhaps.
Maybe?
We'll see.
Or is it on sector?
We'll see. Well, here we go.
Oh, and the music is the music made from someone in the
I
team?
think my favorite weapon in the whole game is the giant hammer.
Yeah.
It just feels so good.
Oh no.
You can kill many enemies at once.
No. God damn it. I got stuck between the shields and got crushed. Oh well.
Yeah, the hammer with the sound effect, and it's just there's such a satisfying hit when you
die
with the enemy.
Yes.
Indeed, the soundtrack is actually a dynamic one. There isn't with each level that you come to visit, based on the difficulty, the soundtrack adapts to that difficulty, and if you are in battle or not, if you are injured, and so on, the soundtrack changes based just on that. We really wanted to promote the violence in the game, so the soundtrack adapts to the situation.
That's really clever. The music is such a good part of the game, I find. It really adds to the look of it, and of course the violence, the action.
Indeed.
Yes, it really is great work. And oh yes, it is made by someone within the team.
Okay.
We have an audio and music team.
Yeah.
But they also work on the sound effects, right? And the music,
Yes.
of course.
Yeah, the sound effects are really satisfying. I think the whole team have done such a great job already, and of course there's still so much time left with the game, but already it's so polished, I find. Such a blast to play. And it seems like everything that the game has in it is made for you to have fun. Like just throwing the boxes or the explosives or picking up whatever weapon. Everything seems to be just built around the idea of having fun and going fast. It's a blast.
Yes, that's basically the idea behind it is go fast, don't think too much about what do you pick, just grab something, throw it, use something else, it breaks, no worry, you grab anything else. So there is a lot of disposable things to just use. If you run out of things, don't worry, the enemies have more things. You just kill one and I just grab the weapon. The idea behind is that the guy just doesn't care. He just grabs a plant and just throws the plant.
There's also something very satisfying. I mean, I often have the perspective, while I am on the team, I'm not directly involved in development, so I sometimes experience things as a player for the first time, and there is something very satisfying about getting like in the zone and doing everything perfectly and throwing boxes and killing enemies without losing life and going from one room to the other, like doing a perfect run. And when you get like in that spot, the game feels so good. It's like you feel unstoppable.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. From the time I played last week, at first I was struggling, and then you start to understand how the level goes, how to use your weaponry and the environment, and then you enter this zone, and you get into a flow, and you want to keep going.
Indeed. The idea is to get into the flow zone. Go ahead, Aus.
No, I mean, I was going to say, like we're seeing now with the rage mode and everything, you just went for like, I think through 5 or 4 rooms in like 10 seconds, killing everyone.
Indeed. Also, if you still want to just take a little bit of your time to examine the environment and so on, you can find hidden items. For example, I have this keycard here that you actually found when you played that time. And the keycard allows you to open this big red door, so I'm going to just open it and grab an extra loot for myself. So there is also exploration, of course, if you want to. We don't want to discourage the exploration, of course. It's a roguelite after all, and collecting loot is part of the experience. If you just want to do it fast, you can, of course. I just took my time there to explain it, but I can just do that immediately. This is also the permanent upgrade points of if I don't die, I can then upgrade myself once again.
And is there a favorite weapon on the team? Or do people have a different weapon that they prefer to use?
Well, my favorite weapon is actually this one, the railgun.
Yeah.
Since it kills anyone instantly at a distance. But I believe others have, I don't know, what's yours, House?
I mean, the railgun is a solid choice, but I prefer the giant hammer. It just feels so good. And you can kill more than one enemy at once, so...
there is also... No, go ahead.
You went through a room that has, I think it's my favorite room in the whole game, at least that I've seen. It has the hammer in the middle and a lot of enemies spawning around you, and you can kill everyone with the hammer. It's great.
Indeed, it's a lot of experiencing a bunch of different type of play styles in the same run. You don't get stuck with one weapon, which is something that a lot of roleplays do. You have one choice of weapon and that's it. And we want that. We want that the player to experience a lot of play styles in just a couple of seconds. I just switched like for 20 weapons in like 10 minutes. There are, of course, a lot more that we didn't actually show yet because I died a lot. But there is the possibility to have them. There is also a very interesting thing about the game that we use it's not only an art style and a aesthetic choice that the player sees red. There is also a very hidden way of seeing how the player views the world. For example, this door is completely red, so I'm going to just stand in there. If I return, the door is now white, meaning that it tells you that, hey, you already been there. It's no longer relevant to you.
That's really clever. I haven't noticed that. Does it happen with every room that you go to?
Every room, yes. Since there isn't a minimap, it's like a way to find yourself in the world and not get lost. And there are a lot of small things like that change from red to white or even grayscale based on your actions. For example, this box here is fully white, but if I destroy it, it becomes a grayscale. Since it's no longer relevant to you, the player stops seeing it. So there are a lot of small things like that get mixed with aesthetic and gameplay choices. Yes,
the weapons too, when you start using them and they run out of ammo, like the colors, there's a gradient in the very weapon that you can see how many bullets you have left.
Yeah.
Or if they're in the ground, if an enemy drops them, you can see, okay, this one has more ammo than this one, just from seeing them lying on the ground.
Yeah.
Indeed. I have only one. Well, let's save it for later. So perhaps a better upgrade comes. Let's try not to die this time, shall we?
And that currency that you use to spend on the permanent upgrades, how do you get that currency?
The one with the giant device that it's like a capsule.
That's what.
It has a core in the inside that the player takes from there.
There are different spread on the levels. Sometimes within hidden areas, so you actually have to explore to get them.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will find one in this level, so we can show it.
Actually, there is one here. So this is the. That's the interesting part about the game being handcrafted, that you can actually remember where something were. So it's quite crucial for progressing quickly through the game. So you're less screwed by randomness, basically. The hologram. The player gets, the enemy gets totally like, why is that? Why it's not dying? Poor thing.
I thought it would be sort of a landmine, but no, it's a hologram, and then you get the pleasure of then killing the bad guy who was so confused.
Indeed.
Yes. There is a landmine. I don't know if
there is actually a landmine, yes. I can show now the thing that look at the weapon.
Yeah.
It's black up to it's black only on the tip, then the rest is white. When I fire, now half. If I keep firing, and then when it's almost out, it's just a black block that you can throw. Now it's exploded because I have actually to explain the audience. I have a passive that when I throw a weapon, a small bomb gets attached to a weapon and it explodes on contact. I have basically infinite bombs, so it's quite fun to play around with. Since everything that you do is throw it at the enemy, it complements really well with the idea. Like that, I just kill it 2 by 1.
Oh, there's again the satisfying hammer hit.
Yes.
Yes, and an insane range also. Let's see if I can actually show the rest of the enemies on stream before I die.
Now you are on Sector 1, right? And
I believe
you have to get...
Sector 2, yes. It's a very interesting enemy. Oh, a fight in the bathroom. How classic. Let's just ramp things up. Yes. So satisfying.
Oh, also a pretty important part about the brutal murders, which are the execution of the hook, and by consequence of the rage mode, is that every time you execute an enemy, you get healed. So you have that little class of survivability.
Yes.
This is actually the other enemy. This robot that grabs things from the environment and throws it at you. And if you actually try to kill him, it explodes. So it has like a bomb attached to it.
Yeah.
So you need to be very careful. And in fact, if he runs out of things to throw, he actually kamikazes to you.
Oh, okay. And with the rage mode, hits the red meter next to your character, right?
Yes.
Once that's filled, okay.
And the hook gets filled with red if you can brutally kill the enemies. There is like a fatality style kill that happens when this icon gets completely red. So, yes, Aus, go ahead.
I actually forgot what I was going to say. But I think it was something about, the hook that gets charged or the rage. Okay, I think now you're gonna get to Sector 2.
Hopefully.
Maybe. Perhaps.
Also, something that is quite funny to showcase is our whiteboard, of course, like the one that I have here. So, not only you can write, of course, in any color that the player knows. The player only knows 3 colors, sadly. But you can also erase everyone on the team. If you don't want any of this, you can delete and start over and make your own creations. This actually gets saved on the cloud, so you can share it with your friends and any other player that you want. And of course, if you just want to hide in, you can press the reset button and start over. So it's a nice Easter egg, so that players can enjoy a chill moment from all that rage.
Yeah, I mean, there's also an interesting thing to say about the player's ship, that is like the central hub where you have level selection, you have you can choose upgrades. As we see, you can see the credits with a team, and more to come. I think I don't want to spoil anything. I've already spoiled enough, but there is more to come with the player's ship that you can do from there. So it's pretty cool. It's like your little base.
Yeah.
Indeed. Since you always are visiting that, we wanted to have a purpose and meaning to be there. So there will be a lot of things to do. And a lot of special ones, actually, that, like, I don't want to spoil really at the moment.
Players will have to keep in touch with the game and follow
Indeed.
with the release next year. And if people want to, they can follow the game on Twitter, right? It's at ICRed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are everywhere. We are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, we are on Imgur, I don't know how you pronounce it. But yeah, it's ICRed or Whiteboard Games.
Okay.
In fact, in Twitter we are at ICRed Game, if you want to go there right now.
Yes. This is quite the big room, certainly.
Yeah.
The giant bathroom in the middle that I want to visit now, but so many red guys in the way. There are some passives there, so I wonder now. I want my passives.
I'm just happily listening to the soundtrack. I can't believe how good it is. Just in rage mode that you were in right there, it was really impressive.
Yes, actually, every single song from each level has its own rage mode version.
Oh.
So there are so many tracks in the game. The audio team is so good, and I'm just so proud of them. So yeah.
I had to work with it for like making videos and teasers, and it is impressive. I can't wrap my head around it. There's like 12 versions of each song.
Yeah.
For different levels, from different areas, from different epicness levels.
Let's see if I don't crash it this time by the giant thing the deadly thing. Please don't kill me. Wow, that guy has a bazooka. No.
And you can see how quickly the health changes because you came in the room,
Yes.
I think you were full health.
Yes,
I was at Okay, let's do something let's do a bit of cheating.
Yeah,
I'm not going to.
you can cheat a little bit.
Yeah, we can make this the last run, and you can cheat.
Yes. I'm going to actually do something very nasty. I'm going to open the developer menu, and I'm going to just skip to the last sector.
Oh.
The Traveler. So we can actually see the final enemy at the moment. There will be many more enemies, but the final enemy at this moment.
You might
Actually,
want
this
to
room
make
is
your life.
so hard that I'm going to. That's the final enemy. It's a dog that bites. It's a robot dog, actually. And it's very fast and very angry. Actually have 0 powers at the moment since I died. So I came to the last level of the game with no passives. I'm going to be crushed, and I got crushed. Well, at least you got to see the dogs in action.
If you want to go again, go ahead because that was quick.
Yes, I'm going to. And then I'm going to actually cheat a little bit more and give me like perhaps more health.
A bit of life.
I'm allowed to do it, right? I'm the developer. I can do it.
Yeah,
yes, of course. Let's do that. As you can see, there are so many levels in the game, and there will be so more to come. There are like, I have no idea. There are always so many. The level design team is working so hard to.
Actually, this build, you are playing a build from like a month or 2 ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So there are already a bunch more things and fixes on the game.
Yes, I've seen very old things that there are in the game anymore. Many things changed and many things are better. There are straight up more things, more levels. Yes, there is so much. That is like, oh yeah, I remember when. Yes, that's the funny thing about development, that you are always working with different versions.
Yeah.
and you're like, oh yeah, do you remember when you? Yeah. Yes, there are so many things in development that perhaps a normal player doesn't come to realize, and so fun to explore. Oh, that bazooka was beautiful.
Yeah.
4 for 1.
And when the money explodes and it collects to you, it's such a satisfying. Like you had the one with the bazooka, where it felt like the whole room exploded with money, and then it came to you. And it's
Yes,
fun to see.
Yeah.
quite satisfying. Oh, a legendary passive. We haven't seen a legendary
Oh,
passive. The
the
passives
shield.
have rarity. Yes. Of course, it's based on chance, so the shield recharges over time and gives you basically one free hit if you get hit. Like for example now, 0 damage,
Okay.
and now you need to wait until it recharges. Yes, there are a lot of actually the passive system. Not only you find them around the levels, but you can actually unlock them through the achievement system. There is an achievement system that this door is closed. Okay, that you can actually complete certain challenges, not only for entertainment, but also to unlock different types of passives, consumables, like this knife, for example. I have this troll knife, this mine. There are so many things that you can actually lock using that. That's the mine. If you actually stand on it, it gets opened. So if, like any real mine, if now I move out of the way, it explodes. Of course, I had a shield.
Yeah.
Yes, so I am through the run there, but yeah. So yeah, let's grab the giant hammer and have fun.
I mean, since this is the last run, I think I should say, you can, I mean, anyone watching this, if you like the game, you can find it, as we said, you can talk to us on social media, but you can also find it on Steam, where you can wishlist the game. Icy Red, it is called, in case you didn't know it yet. And it helps us a lot. I mean, the wishlist button seems like a little funny button, but it actually helps developers a lot to get wishlists and to, of course, talk about the game, tell your friends, play it, watch the trailers, follow the development, and we actually value it a lot. As well as, for example, of course, David here, all of this stream, this allowing us to show off the game and talk about it, it really means a lot to us. So thank you a lot to you, David, and to GDWC.
Yeah, of course, we're happy to have you. And last week, you know, when I ran through all the games of the week, this is one that definitely stood out to me. Already the amount of polish in the game and just how fun it was. Like you said, it is true, the wish listing, it is very important to develop to the developers, and it helps them a lot. So if you are interested at all, I suggest go and wish it on Steam. It will help everyone with the game and gives them more traction. And yeah, share it. If you have other friends that you think might be interested, share it with them.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much for
those wish
for the
lists,
opportunity.
those retweets, those likes, everything helps.
Yeah, and we have like you mentioned earlier, they're everywhere on social media. So if you're interested, give them a follow as well and keep up with the updates. And we already know that there's aliens coming. I don't know, that was a early reveal, but now we're looking forward to seeing what they actually look like.
Aliens are coming. Yes,
There are
confirmed.
aliens coming. Actually,
Aliens.
you might be able to see some of that in the next few days.
Okay. Yeah, just a reminder, it's coming out, it's planned for next summer to come out.
Yes,
Or next
August.
Yeah, I guess not summer, because it depends where you live, but next August. Yeah.
Yes, actually it's winter here, so
Yeah, exactly. That's why.
It's winter for us, but yes, summer.
Yeah.
Summer for you.
indeed. So wish list on Steam, which like I would say is really important. So indeed. Well, this is actually my handwriting. Like that's the one on the back is also my handwriting. So this is I also programmed the game. So I don't actually do any art, so this is my grade of art at the moment, and the team can attest to that.
Attest to it.
Since yes, certainly it's beautiful. Yes, it's
Well,
quite fun to.
All right, I think that's we saw the game and everything that you need
Yeah.
to see and all the information. Please go follow them, give them a like and wish list on Steam, and it will help a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, David. I don't know if Luciano wants to say anything else.
I don't. This is actually the Steam logo, I believe, or my best attempt to draw the
That's
Steam
good,
logo.
yeah.
So yes. Yeah.
It may or may not look like it. Okay.
I think that's it is right. It's
close, yeah.
it's a piece of the a train. It's the
The
what's the name? Yes,
don't know what
that
it's called.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
that. Yes, steam locomotive. Well, thank you a lot, David, for having us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and thanks everyone
I'm
for
honored to be here.
watching with us. This is the my first gaming with devs, and there'll be more to come. And hopefully, once there are more updates, hopefully we can get you guys back on, because I'm already such a huge fan, and I think quite a few of our viewers are as well. So we'll keep in touch.
Well,
Thank you. Thank you a lot.
Very well.
We will be looking forward to those streams.
Okay. Great. Thanks. See you, everyone.
Well,
thank you. Have a
Bye.
great